Hey guys, what's up? It's John. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before I get started, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking this video. Thank you for turning on the notifications, of course, and commenting. I always appreciate all that, guys. So thank you very much. This video, I'm going to talk about the original Atari 1983 Star Wars arcade. I've had this cabinet here for about 8 years. How I came across it was I was actually looking for this thing right here, the PlayStation 10. Got on Craigslist, and the guy actually had this in his garage. It wasn't working when I picked it up or when I found it. And he sold it to me for like 800 bucks at the time. It was plain blind. The monitor wasn't working. This runs off, for those who may not know, it runs off a Vector monitor, which is really hard to replace. It took me about a year to get this fixed, but through that process, I put an additional 500 bucks into it, but about $1,300 into this thing. It's worth well over 3 times that now, actually, and I'm sure it will go up in value with the new Arcade 1-Up coming out soon, which I want to talk about here in a second. But I got it working, and not only that, but I got it modded, so it not only plays original Star Wars, but also plays Empire Strikes Back. So Arcade 1-Up recently announced they're releasing a mini version of this, so to speak, a 4-foot version of this, and it's going to retail, not quite sure, I think it's about 300, 350 bucks. It's going to have Star Wars, it's going to have Empire Strikes Back, as well as Return of the Jedi on it. I don't own Return of the Jedi. This is my second favorite arcade cabinet that I own in my arcade collection. My number one, of course, is my DuckTales arcade. You're probably thinking to yourself, John, the DuckTales arcade never existed. Well, there's one of 2 that do. I have one of them, so it's pretty cool. Definitely my prize in my collection. So without any further ado, I want to show you some gameplay of both Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. The gameplay, even though this game came out in 1983, it really plays very well. It's got this yoke controller here, which handles really well. Even the arcade, when I played other versions of the arcade, I've noticed there's a huge variable as far as how responsive this controller is. And that's one concern I do have about the Arcade 1-Up arcade, the Star Wars one, is they are redoing this, which is great, but how well is it going to handle? I have the Asteroids Arcade 1-Up, for example, and it's got the controller, the dial where you roll back and forth, and that thing is not really good quality, to be honest with you. So I have some deep concerns about how this yoke controller is going to actually work and control, because it really depends a lot on the game, especially Empire Strikes Back and Star Wars. Return of the Jedi as well. It's a really unique game too. So the controls aren't good. It affects the whole gameplay, obviously, of the game. So big reservation there. The second reservation I have about the Arcade 1-Up is how it plays, because this is a vector monitor. It's really hard to emulate vector graphics and make them look really good, to be honest. It looks decent, but there's nothing looks like the real thing. And even when I show you gameplay of this, you're gonna see some blinking. That's the camera causing that scrolling. Is not, when you see this in person, it looks beautiful. This arcade has really aged well. It's like a fine wine in my book. The sound, the controls, it is an amazing arcade machine. And my 5-year-old twin boys love playing this. So it's really cool to see the young kids enjoy this as well. So I think this is a timeless arcade cab. So without any further ado, let's take a closer look. Okay, so I lied. Before I show you gameplay, I want to show you how this thing looks, because take a closer look at this thing. It's a beautiful thing about arcades, for me, arcade cabinets and pinball machines for that matter, is not only are they entertainment, they're a game obviously, but it's artwork. And this thing is just up and down, top to bottom, completely full of art, which is awesome. Even the side art here, see Darth Vader and you got the X-Wing and Death Star. Really, I mean, it's covered head to toe. They also have like a sit-down version of this, which is even more uncommon, and that thing is awesome as well. Okay, so let's take a closer look at some gameplay. But look, you can see what I mean by the flickering. That doesn't occur when you're actually playing this thing in real life. That's the camera causing that effect. Okay, so I've got my credit in. I'll hit the trigger button to get started. There's 3 different difficulties. You got your easy, your medium, hard. I like to go hard to get the 800,000 point bonus. So do hard. We'll test my Jedi skills here. You can shoot these torpedoes or whatever they're firing at you so they don't hurt you. You do get some points for doing that, but the more important thing is you don't get hit. You can't shake it. You can see it's very difficult. And this game just goes in the waves, so it gets more difficult. Start with 6 shields in this setting anyway. There's Darth Vader's tie. The next, that's what she said. Now, okay. You gotta get these towers. You get extra bonus points for getting this top of these towers here. So I got pressure. You guys are watching me play now. And you notice that incrementally I get 200 points every time added to the points. So 2,600 points, 2,800, 3,000, 3,200, etc. You get points for getting these ones below. Eventually I can clear all the tops, if it lets me. I missed that one. But you notice, oh, see, they're all cleared. So I get extra points. Now this third wave, you get extra points if you don't use any firing. If you just, oh, I'm gonna get hit there. Let's see if I can, I think it's 100,000 points you get. Let's see if I can do it. Getting hit. Stay on the side there. Woo. Okay. Almost there. Come on, R2. So it's like the Death Star trench. Oh, shoot. No, 0. Okay, here we go. There we go. And you use these buttons right here to do that. Boom, shield's gone. Yep, I get an extra bonus as well, so I got 1,000,000 points now. I also failed to mention that when you go to the Death Star, let's see, I'll show you. Let's see if I can do this. So it just gets, oh. And you can't, just like in the movie, you can't blow up Darth Vader. But you can hit him for extra points, like that. It's insane. So when usually in the arcade, a lot of arcades you'll notice there's like a thing here. There's a message like the force is with you. It's a little Easter egg. But I'm gonna switch that pressure back. Hold this down for 5 seconds. Hold this down for 5 seconds. Or less than that.
It could destroy us.
And you got Empire Strikes Back. This game came out in 1985, 2 years after Star Wars. It actually came out a year after Return of the Jedi, so they released it out of order, which is odd. This was an upgrade kit to the original Star Wars. So a lot of the arcade owners, Star Wars was still doing very well in '85. They decided they didn't want to pay for the upgrade kit. So this is a little less common. Was ported to a handful of classic computer systems like the Amstrad and Commodore 64. But let's go ahead and get started. Put my credits in. Pull trigger to get started. This one's still a lot of fun. I actually enjoy it. Let's go to hard, get 250,000 points. Different thing about here, you notice it also keeps your score, your ranking in real time, which is cool. So the first wave, you're supposed to get these probe droids. And there's a Jedi setting, so if you get in certain, like I got 4 more, 2 more, and I get a letter spelled Jedi, and notice the bullets temporarily like disappear. They don't hit me for a while, so I'm like invisible for a while.
That's it. The red holes are there.
The next wave is AT and ST, so I can hit the blue dot here and blow them up. I can also try to fly between their legs to get extra bonuses. Extra bonus. Oh, see, I get extra bonus, 5,000 bonus. I got harpoon cables here as well. I'll show you how that works. So I got 7 more walkers. So if I hit this button right here, I get the... Oh, it went right between the legs. That doesn't help. Okay, didn't work out as planned. So I got pretty good control here as far as where I go. Let's see if that gets him. There you go. I only have a limit on my life. 2 more of those tow cables. I don't think, oh, 1 more. 1 more, I get the E letter. There you go. See, now they all disappear. I don't more tow cables. This is similar to the Star Wars one. So watch, now the Millennium Falcon, so I get as many TIE fighters as I can. Be quiet, C-3PO. 4 more. You can see what I mean by controls being really important in this game. I got the D.
The son of Skywalker must not become a Jedi.
So this is the basically avoid any asteroids.
The possibility of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,700 to 1.
Never tell me the odds.
Tell me the odds.
It's kind of random. Again, great music, sound effects.
One more,
Oh, one more hit.
Oh, thank goodness we're coming out
I got
of
it.
the asteroid.
So Spoke Jedi,
The Force is with you. He could destroy us.
and now I'm ranked #1, highest score. That's cool.
Die.
Okay. So you guys get the idea. Thank you guys for watching, and please leave a comment. Let me know if you guys plan on getting the Arcade 1-Up game. I'm curious what your guys' thoughts about it is going to be. I'll probably end up picking it up, but definitely nothing beats the original. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you soon. Take care.